All right, everybody. Eric Johnson, Thompson Group, Thompson Family of Companies, Director of Training, here with Brette Shakespeare today, who, if you, she should be, that's a famous person's name, I think. I feel like she should be the head of like a heavy metal band, like Brette Shakespeare. But she's not. She's just an awesome realtor, and she works out of one of our Boise offices in Meridian. Is that correct?
Meridian, yep.
Okay. So you attended the last Ninja installation and you're planning on attending this Ninja installation. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So, like I explained before, I have been a big Buffini person, and when I took Ninja this time it was my first Ninja installation was last year, and I got so much out of it. But again, when you go to these training, you get so much information, and it's hard to implement everything. And so there were some things I took away from that training that I wanted to implement in my business. And now that I've made those things kind of habitual, I just want to take more and add more of those trainings.
Yeah, and I think and of the people I talk to who do take it multiple times, there's so much information to your point that it's going back and stepping up to the next level, or reinforcing the things you're doing, whatever reason you're coming from, really makes a lot of sense. So tell us about the big takeaways you had from the last installation that you implemented in your business.
So I've always had kind of a set morning routine. So I think it was easier for me to just kind of add some of what Ninja teaches. But some of the big things for me on that were what they call the Ninja 9. And one of those is reviewing your warm and hot list every day. And I think it helped me put in place a process where I didn't miss people. I have a list, I see them every day, I add to it, I take away, I move people back and forth. But it really helped me so I didn't miss people or forget about people. I was constantly reviewing it. And so I was continually touching base with those people who were most likely to do business with me for that year.
That's awesome. And then so the hot and warm list, which it seems very like, well, yeah, you're right, like basically, but it is amazing how much we can take that for granted, that, oh, I have it on my phone or I have it on my CRM and I'm not looking at it constantly, but I'm sure it's fine because they're going to get my emails and things like that. So they'll remember me, right? And
right.
and
Yeah, but it really does help you be accountable, really. And
absolutely.
you just don't let those ones slip through.
Yeah.
The other big takeaway, Eric, for me was I've always been a note writer. Buffini teaches it, but really putting in place ways to help me meet those goals. And so one of them was that I do on the notes is being prepped for the next day so that I don't have to think about who those two people I'm sending the notes to, is to have those people in mind. They're on a sticky note on top of the two note cards. So when I come in the morning, I'm ready to do it. I don't have to think about it.
So the handwritten notes and the hot and warm list of things you took away and implemented, how did that affect your business this last year?
Oh gosh, you won't believe the feedback. And I think most people who do notes do get that from their clients. They're like, it's so nice to get not junk mail, and they're like, oh, you're so awesome at doing stuff like that. So I've gotten lots of good feedback, and I think people just like to know they're being thought of.
Yeah. How did it affect your overall business as far as between doing those two things regularly and adding it to what you're already doing? How do you feel that
right.
your overall?
Right. So I know last year was a down year for a lot of people, and so I was just trying to just put my head down and do the things that I knew I was supposed to do. But I don't know the exact numbers, but probably about right around 3. I think it was a little over 3 million in volume that I did additional last year from the previous year.
So not nothing. Yeah.
No, it was awesome. I mean, I couldn't, I'm a big believer in it. Again, that's why I'm taking it again, because I just want to add more of those systems to my business.
So it's worth the time and money in your estimation to go to this thing.
100%. I'd recommend it to everyone. I think you're crazy if you don't. That's what I think.
And you said something offline before we got started here, but I want to just have you reiterate that. You talked about kind of managing your activities and the effect on your business, not only from a monetary standpoint and those things, but from a psychological standpoint. Tell maybe.
Yeah, that was really a huge for me. That in of itself would be worth it to me, even if I didn't see an increase in my business. But there is a certain amount of fear that I always carried with me about, hey, am I going to do enough business? Am I going to be able to meet my goals? And the way that Ninja teaches kind of the systems they have in place, it took that away for me. I just knew that I was going to be, I'm doing this, this, and this is what I'm doing. And once I did those things, it really helped me enjoy my free time off more. And so it just took that fear away. I just did the things that I knew I needed to do to increase my business.
Yeah, no, and I think that's amazing, and I hadn't really thought about that part of it before, but knowing that the activities, if you do this set amount of activities, you're going to generate this outcome is very freeing.
It was. I mean, I again,
Yeah.
if that's all I got from it,
Right,
it would
right,
be worth it. It's just
yeah,
so nice to just know like I know what I need to do, and then I can let everything else go.
yeah. You have a daily plan, and you can just implement it
Yeah,
and expect this outcome, and that's great. So, well,
right. Yeah.
Brett, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. For those of you who have not been to installation or looking to brush up, just as a reminder, the Ninja installation in Boise this year is going to be in Meridian from the 18th to the 21st of April. And the link is live to sign up. It's $900 for the 4 days. Lunch is included, and we'll probably have some breakfast stuff there too at the Silverstone Center there. So sign up.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Brett. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Eric.